So, I've got my brakes released already. Well, I don't have a trailer, so I've got my tractor brake released. Got my clutch in, and push it up into second. See how it's grounded? So what you want to do then, push your clutch all the way to the floor, which engages the clutch brake. See how easy it went in that time? Now I'm going to relieve a little bit of pressure from the clutch to get it out of the clutch brake. The way the clutch brake is not engaged. When traffic's clear, I'm going to show you how to pull out. So I'm going to ease out on my clutch until I feel the truck starting to pull. Then I'm going to release the brake. Then the truck will start moving by itself without giving it any fuel. At that point, I'll start giving it fuel to accelerate, get my RPMs up to shift to the next gear. When upshifting, you want to upshift around 1600 at the most. You don't really want to go over 1600 while you're learning anyway. After you get out, you know, to your job place, you can shift however you want. But for the DMV's sake and for learning, 1600 is the max. So in a second, I'll ease out on the clutch. Okay, it started pulling. So we're at 1400 RPMs. I'm barely pushing the clutch in to get it out of gear. Then I'm pushing the clutch in about halfway to get it in the next gear. Then I'm going to flip my selector once I get into 5th gear. That's going to allow me to come back over to 1, which is then 6th gear because I'm on the high side. See, I'm not taking my RPMs too high. I'm not flooring it. I'm not trying to slam the gears. It's nice and smooth. Everything should be smooth. You shouldn't have to force anything. I want to upshift just so I can downshift in a second. Okay, so the downshift, you want to downshift around 1000 RPMs. So right now we're at 1000. I want to downshift for this curve we're coming up in. So clutch, give it some fuel, push your clutch, and then one finger is all I use right there. Though I did get a little bit of vibration. So one finger, that's all the effort you have to put into shifting. 1 to 2 fingers. You don't have to squeeze it and ram it. Just barely hold it against the gear. It should go right in. If it doesn't and you barely miss the RPM window, if you're on the upside of the window, if you're holding it against the gear, then sometimes it will just fall right in there once it hits that RPM window, the sweet spot. I'll downshift again when we get to the top of this hill. Remember, the downshift is going to be around 1000 RPMs, which is on the gauges we have. I think all of them are 10. It's 10 times 100 is 1000. Clutch, fuel, clutch, one finger, hold it into gear. Now if you miss a gear, I'll show you how to get back into a gear. So if you miss a gear, your RPMs are going to drop to idle. You want to let off your clutch, give it some fuel, then push your clutch in. Try to find the gear that you or go into the gear that you were trying to get before, trying to find before. So let's say we just lost this gear. I'm going to go down to 8. Downshift it, but see where all you're going to get is grinding. So you got to give it fuel, push your clutch. That wasn't enough, so give it more fuel, push your clutch, pull against the gear shifter, and as you can see, it was in gear right there. Alright, so we're going to pretend we were going from 8th to 9th, which I'm in 9th now. I want to get it back into 9th, so let's say we were just in 8th gear. I go to shift to 9th, I miss it, now it's grinding. Give it fuel with your clutch out, push your clutch in, push it into the gear. There it is. Alright, so now we're going to cover how to slow down, how far away from the red light or stop sign or traffic or whatever, how far away to start slowing down. I hope you can see the road. I don't think you can, but we'll see what we can do. Sitting at a red light, you have to have it in gear, foot on the clutch, both hands on the wheel. Again, when we pull out, we're going to ease on the clutch until the truck starts to pull. Then we'll let off the brake, let the clutch out the rest of the way at the same time, and the truck will start pulling by itself. And then you give it fuel and get your RPMs up so you can shift into the next gear. We got a red light coming up, but it'll probably be green by the time we get there. Hopefully not. So it's about 150 yards, 100 yards away now since I'm talking. So we're already down to like 700 RPM, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip in here. All right, so I don't know if you can see, but this is how far away you need to start slowing down. Then once you get it in the 6th gear, just ride 6th gear out until you get to the point where you want to stop. So right here we're at 700 RPMs. I'm going to push my clutch in, and here's where I would stop. Put it back in the 2nd. Spinning a little bit. We don't have a trailer on the back. These things are slide happy. They like sliding when it's wet, snowy, whatever. Even with the trailer on the back, the single axles are loose in the back end. Okay, so we're coming up on another red light. Use your brake a little bit, get your RPMs down to 1,000. Now we're just going to cruise in 6th. Not really accelerating, but you know, just coasting, I guess, letting the truck pull itself. So right here, we're a couple car lengths away from this truck in front of us. Flip the selector, put it back in the 2nd, start all over. Alright, we got another red light. So, about 100 yards away. And use your brake to get your RPMs down. When you're using your brake to get your RPMs down, it's important to remember not to push your clutch. The only time you want to push your clutch is when your RPMs are to the point where the truck's either going to lug or you're ready to shift a gear.